Hey, Grand Rising. Living through your vision. Actually, grand afternoon. It is afternoon. Wow. I just want to first and foremost say that I just love this forum. I love the diversity. I love everything about this group. It's such diversity in sense of understanding, and it makes you sit down and put your thinking cap on, and it just shows you how diverse in our thought process it really is. And it's not to say that somebody is wrong or somebody is right or anything like that, but it is really showing how each one of us, what we use to get to the value of how we know and understand truth, and what truth represents itself to be, to us individually. And then, as a collective, we come together with our thoughts and our opinions and what cultivates it. And it's quite interesting, because when you sit down and you have a conversation with someone and how they come up to, how they understand the value of what is true to them, you have to respect it, because it goes right back down, to the experience factor of what we experience. And that is the keynote, for the reason why we are here, is to have these experiences and understand what has cultivated the experience that we, it either evolves us or we still acknowledge it as a truth that we understand it to be. So, when you look at it from that perspective, you learn within yourself that, you get it. You just get it. It's just that aha moment that you get it and you understand the value. One of the things that I want to do, because I think we have been taught to see the world in such a negative light, in such a negative way. And, I guess in a way, I've been doing an experiment, not realizing that I really have been doing an experiment without even really being conscious of it. But I think subconsciously, I don't know. I guess I've been doing this experiment. But what I've come to understand in this experiment is that your life changes. Your value of your life changes, because what you feed it is what you're going to produce. So what I've noticed about life and how we perceive things and, how we understand things is that, if you take in a whole lot of negativity and negative information and negative presentation and negative conversations, and you have more negative value going on than positive, then that's going to be your experience, because that's all that's presenting itself right now. It's just negativity. So you're going to see the world in a negative light. Everything is going to be, this is negative and it's more wrong going on than good. And, all of these things and you know what? That is the truth. That becomes a person's truth, because that's the person's experience. So, sometimes you have to really be careful about responding, to people and saying, oh, that's not true. Oh, that's very much true. That's true for them. You have to sometimes sit down and go a little bit deeper than the surface to understand how a person comes up to that value. What makes that person comes up to that value? And the only way you can actually do that is if you actually have a conversation with that person, and then that person can then now explain themselves. If they wish to do so, they can explain themselves how they came up with that value. How did they come up with that perception? What caused them to understand? Because that perception and that value has become the truth because of the experiences and what they have allowed for themselves to be exposed to. So it's not for us to say, oh, that's not true. That's not true. That's the truth for them. It's up to us if we see it a different way to have a conversation or sit down and ask them, how do they come up to that conclusion, especially if your experience is different. Now, with me, my experience has now become a bit different because now I'm contributing to my experience a different value. I don't watch the news. I don't participate in negativity. If I do have a lot of people, if I have a person that is more negative than positive, I kind of stray away from that because I don't want that to infiltrate my thought process. So therefore, I see the world in a different set of eyes because I'm allowing my experiences to be that of what I want, my outer world to be reflective of. So, when you start understanding that, people's value in terms of perception, is by what is being fed on a constant or on a continuum, then you understand how people now get to that point of where they are in their respect of their opinion. It's because of what has cultivated it. So this is where you don't judge. This is where, we're not supposed to judge, because unless you know the cultivation of the experience, you can't sit and say to the person that, they're wrong for feeling that way, because that is what has cultivated their experience. Now, what can we do to change a negative experience into more positive? And what can we do to see the world in a beautiful way without people, concluded it as a sense of naivete in terms of you being naive and you don't know what's going on in the world and this and that or what have you, is that you create your world within a world. You recreate your world within a world. You eliminate the things that you don't want in your life or you don't want to see prevalent in your life. You eliminate those things and you replace the value of it. Perception is everything. How we perceive things is the total. It's the total aspect of how things are. How we encompass things. It is the perception that is the key tale to how we understand what we're going to allow to cultivate our lives. It's how we perceive things. And if you perceive things in a negative way, and if everything, and you allow more negativity to be more prevalent or present than positive, then those experiences is going to cultivate your mentality, and that mentality is going to be the truth. So to change those values, you got to change your perception. You got to change your perception. I used to feel like, oh my God, the world was so hard. The world was just negative. It was just so much, this was hell. And now I see it differently. It was only hell because I told myself that it was hell, and I attracted things that validated that point to justify the perception that I perceived this place to be. So everything started to come in alignment to justify, to validate what it was that I was basically telling myself. I was basically telling the universe, and everything in its mama came in to support that. But when I started telling myself that the world is beautiful, contrary to popular belief, it's not the way that we have been taught that it is. It's more good than it's not and everything. So I just been experiencing positive things. Now, it's not to say that negative things don't happen. It does happen, but it only happens in a more prevalent way to those who believe that more negativity exists more than positive. You're going to see it because that's what you believe exists the most. And if you believe what exists the most is what is going to reveal itself more prevalent in your life. So you have to change the value of that. It's so much that I could talk about here on this forum, and it's so much information that is being present on this forum that it's like, wow, it's such a beautiful experience to see, how much topic is on this, and how, this could be a totally life-changing experience but the keynote note to this thing being a positive experience is the perception. Is how we perceive things and how we understand things. And if you want something positive to be more prevalent in your life, you have to start thinking it and you have to start believing it. Even though you know that negativity may exist somewhere. but you want more positive things to be more prevalent in your life. So therefore you're going to see more positive things. We were talking about is a subject matter that came up and regarding being a sinner and everything. I told one of the members, I changed the value of that. And people look at me like I'm crazy, like, oh, you a sinner. Hey, I'm only a sinner if I believe that I'm a sinner. You understand? Even though I may understand the way that the value was created and how it was created and what it was created for and all this other kind of stuff, if I accept those terms of how it's created, then that's okay, because I'm in agreement with it. So that's my truth, and that makes it okay. But because I'm not in agreement with the conception of how those things were, how it came out to be, because I see myself as different from that, then no, I'm not in acceptance of anyone, of me calling myself a sinner. People can call me a sinner if they want to call me a sinner, because it's okay for them to call me a sinner, because that's how they understand it to be. And, if the values represents themselves in that manner, and that's their understanding of it, and that's their perception of it, then that becomes the truth to them. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be the truth of me, for me. You understand? It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. So now I live my life in accordance to what I believe, not what nobody tells me. I know we still have to somehow survive in a society that is very controlling, but at the same time, you still have the control of your inner self and your energy, your inner God, and who you are. You still have the control over that. Nobody can take that away from you, and how you think and what it is that you do for yourself to bring yourself in a good place. Because contrary to popular belief, I will say that this is a beautiful experience. This is a beautiful place to be. And 10 years ago, you would have heard a different message coming from out of my mouth, because I allowed, something else to be the truth. I allowed my perception to be the truth of something entirely different. So that is what, was starting to be more prevalent and manifest in my life. And now that I see it differently, now things are quite, far much more different. So, that's why, I put up a post, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that there's no right or wrong. It just is. And I've come to understand that, you're not to judge people. This is why the Bible says that you're not supposed to judge. Thou shalt not judge, or whatever. I get it. I get it now. I have a lot of these I get it moments now. Because you when you start to delve a little bit deeper into an understanding, you realize that the experience is what is governing the person's life, and the experience is there to cultivate that life to for the purpose of evolving that individuals spiritually. So you get it, and it makes you more forgiving. It makes you more compassionate to certain things. You don't get into a long diatribe or an argument with anyone, because you understand the place value that it's presenting itself to be. So, but perception is everything. So my thing, I said all of that to say this: however you want to perceive the life that you're living, that is what is going to be more prevalent than not. If you feel that things are more bad than good, then guess what? It's going to be so much you're going to see that you're going to walk down the street and you're going to see somebody get hit upside the head, and you're going to be like, why did they do that? But then when you see that more life is more good than bad, then you're going to walk down that same street and see that probably them same two people, and they're hugging up each other, giving each other love, giving each other kisses and everything, because the timing of what your mind is and energy is putting out is going to put you in those places, so that you can be in alignment with the experiences that you want to experience. It is an energetic value that is very powerful, that we kind of somewhat dismiss because we can't see it and we don't know our own powers. but we have it every single day. And trust me when I tell you, I can sit here from a place of experience and tell you that there was a time that all I thought about was negative things, and it was just, I thought more wrong than right, and things were bad, and that's all that I experienced. That is all. I couldn't get a break. I couldn't catch a break for nothing. It's like every time I turned around, it was something that was there to justify how I was feeling, and I took it for the truth, in which it was the truth, because that was how I was feeling. That's how I understood things, and it manifested itself to be in agreement with me. So everything that I was thinking, things started to happen to align with me, because to be in agreement with what I was thinking of here and what I had in my heart. And that's the way that it goes. So, the saying always goes back to, so a man thinketh, so is he. Perception is everything, how you perceive it. We are good people in this group. All I see is love in this group. All I see is everybody's making an effort to try to be the greatest version of themselves. Because if that wasn't the case, then you wouldn't be a part of this group. You wouldn't be active in this group. I wouldn't have people, viewing the content if there wasn't a glimpse or an ounce of something within us that wanted to be a better version than what we are. So we are all growing. I strive myself to be a better version of me. The perception of that I want to change to reflect what it is that I feel within myself. And I feel great. I feel good. I feel positive. I got all of this stuff that's going on, that's out there, that I'm putting out there, because I want people to feel the way that I feel and love the way that I love and understand the way that I understand. Not because I feel that it's right, but because I feel that it's good. It feels good. It's euphoric. It's just, you feel so close to God, to source, or whatever it is you want to call it. It just feels right. And it brings and it gravitates in the right things in your life, the positive things in your life that you really truly want to see happen for you. The things that you want in your life, like you want it. It's not to say that I don't have any problems. I do. But now I look at it differently, and I don't try to stay down for too long. I try to get myself up and out as quickly as I possibly can, because I don't like the feeling of that, because I know something outside of that feeling. I know something that is better than that feeling, that feels far much more better and keeps me in a good place. I try to make those experiences, those negative ones, the one that try to debilitate you and bring you down, have it as an in and out moment. I know that it has to, come into play, because it has to bring balance to the situation, because the world, the earth, the universe breathes balance. It breathes, it lives, it breathes balance. It's harmony, it's balance. And I understand that, when even you yourself, from a medical perspective, homeostasis, your body have to figure out how to maintain its balance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And when it's off, it throws everything off. But the world doesn't, the universe don't get thrown off. It just, it maintains the balance that it needs. So, with that being said, I want everybody to understand that you are beautiful by your own right, by your own conception, by your own understanding, by your own perception. You are beautiful. And to know that whatever you perceive is the truth until that truth changes. Because relative truth does change. The only thing that doesn't change is absolute truth, but relative truth does change, because it's supposed to, because we are here to have experiences, and experiences grows us, and it's voices like this that is, how can I say, compassionate about it, with a sense of understanding, without judgment, because you get it, you get it. But my job is to try to get us in a good place, to be, more euphoric, to be more happier, and, and less dense. That's my purpose here. That for those who, see, the cup is half, empty more so than half full, that is just about perception, to just hey, let's change the perception a little bit. How about, just like I was saying yesterday about my grandson, throwing up. Who likes to clean up throw up? Especially it smells. If I thought that the world was not on my side, if God was not on my side, my whole day would have been just a negative situation. But when I got myself in a neutral place to say, hey, this baby couldn't help but throw up, he feels better. Yes, it stinks, but you just do what you got to do, a couple of hours and it's over. It's done. And then you're done with it. Everybody is okay. You're fine. You had the experience. It's over. You understand? It's over with. And then my day can still now go on in a good momentum, because I didn't allow that distraction to cause it to be in a bad spot. So that's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're all here for. The ones that are really dedicated, to bringing some sense of positivity in your life, to get rid as much of that imbalance of negativity that's going on. But the start of everything, really and truly, it starts with you and the perception of how you perceive certain things. And if you want good in your life, you got to start perceiving things as good. I know it might seem like it's more bad going on than not, but guess what? Everything has a balance. Everything has a twin, the place of duality. However you want to look at it, everything has an equal component to it. So just think about, just as much as you think that it's a bad situation and everything is bad, you can make the simple choice equally so to think that everything is good. Equally, and just the same amount of equal of good will start presenting itself as the same amount of bad things started to present itself when you was thinking the opposite of that. Because it's just all, it's relative to what it is that you want to believe. And so, think of, so if it's that these are the things that you're going to attract in your life. It's just that simple. And I'm living proof of it. I am living proof of it. I am so grateful and humble that somewhere along the line, I don't know when it happened or how it happened, but I'm glad it happened. I am so glad it happened. And now I don't feed my spirit all this negativity. Not to say that it doesn't exist. I just try to inundate my mind with more positive. So when negative come, it doesn't have any resonance or rhythm to ride with. It doesn't vibrate off of me. It can't maintain itself in my aura, in my energy. It just have to come and it has to go. It's not to say that it's not welcome. It just does not balance within the rhythm of who I am, primarily. You understand? It can't penetrate that sense of taking over. It's just to come in, make its presence, and then it leaves. At least that's how I look at it. So I like that for everybody, but that's how I look at it. So, with all of that being said, I am just very glad that, these subjects are coming up, and let's discuss it. Like I say, is, everybody has a place in their life where they're at, where they're vibrating off of and why. Okay. And if by some sense of conversation, or if it's a post that you saw, and if it's and you say, I want to feel like that. I want to feel like her. I want to feel like that. The fact of that, you want to feel more happier. That means that you've evolved. That means that you have leveled up on your vibration, because you are aware. Because a lot of times what happens is that when we're vibrating off a certain vibration, we're not aware. We're not aware of the contrast or what have you. We're not aware of it, because we're only going to attract the things that are the same of us, pretty much, like 70-80% of the time. So the variations is so here and there that it's not consistent, because you're only going to attract people that's like the same like you. So it makes it hard to see that you're either left, right. It makes it hard to see. But when things start to show contrast to you, hey, that's a sign of it, that you're evolving right there. As little as it may present itself to be, it's really, truly tremendous. It's big. It really is. Then you can get to ask the questions like, what make you so happy? What make you feel so good? What make you know? What's going on? Now inquiring minds want to know. And when you're ready, you know, it'll take place. You know, it's not, you know, nobody's not pushing nobody to do nothing no faster than what it's supposed to be. You know, so, you know, it's just a beautiful experience. I know y'all probably think I'm just a sap. I'm just a sap, but I've been through enough. I'm not going to, you know, because some people been through a lot, but I've been through enough for me, you know, in the experience column to say, okay, yeah, I had enough of that and I wanted something different, and I still want something different. Right now, I want to be on a yacht somewhere, you know, chilling, you know what I'm saying? A beautiful yacht on the ocean and just taking in all of the negative ions and just feeling free as a bird. You know, I still got a ways to go, and I'm going to accomplish that. I have already accomplished that. It's my divine right. I just got to get into the energetic value and vibration to manifest that into my reality. It's because, you know, you could think it. It's so a man thinketh, so is he. You could think things into reality. That's where all of this come from. The buildings, the cars, everything was a thought process. Everything was a thought, and it manifested itself into fruition. So with that being said, you know, I just want to thank you guys, you know, for just being who you are, showing your real self. You know, and we are all in this together. We're going to grow together. I appreciate it. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful bunch of people, beautiful experiences, you know, and I want to, you know, encourage people to, you know, if you feel that there are some people that could actually benefit from this group, don't hesitate, you know, to recommend. You know, because, you know, this is not a group that we're not going to argue or anything. We understand. At least I do. I know I do. You know, I mean, I like it when you pick on certain people and stuff like that. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Well, because once upon a time, I had that understanding. But I will say with certain things, I had, you know, that indoctrinated value, but it didn't resonate. A lot of things that I had indoctrinated value because I grew up, you know, in the church. My grandfather was a Baptist minister, and I grew up in the church, and I just, you know, I never really kind of, I mean, I was there and I got it, but it just didn't resonate with me because it was just so, the way that we were taught to fear. And I'm like, why do I? And I had me so scared. I remember one time, I thought I did blasphemy or something. I forgot what it was that would cause you to be blasphemy. And I said, oh God, I ain't going. I'm going straight to hell. And I was scared. And I'm like, and then I said, no, man, this just don't feel right. I was so scared as a kid. And I'm like, this don't feel right. So, you know, there's just a whole lot of stuff that just didn't resonate with me when it came to certain things. But, you know, it is, you know, we overcome it. We get where we need to be. And, you know, it takes time, you know, for some of us. And some of us, it don't take no time. Some of us are so evolved right now, we don't even know. They don't even know that they evolved. They already highly evolved. And they don't even realize that they are. Because it's just, they just come here that way. You know, a lot of these new babies coming in here like that. Extremely smart, highly evolved, highly intuitive, free as a bird. Just as free as a bird. Don't put them limitations on me because I am by no means limited on no level. So, you know, to be born in this time is really a good time to be born because these kids are coming here already enlightened. So it's a beautiful thing. But anyway, peace and love, everybody. It's a beautiful day in Zamunda. I am so grateful and glad, you know, that I have this opportunity again. I can't tell you the gratitude that I feel. It's beautiful. And I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day, about to have a wonderful weekend. And I'll probably be on the road tomorrow, but I'll keep in, you know, touch with you guys with things and stuff like that. So I hope that everybody is having a beautiful day. And with that being said, you know, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Put it on the forum, and we'll talk about it. We'll discuss. We'll give our opinion. No opinion is wrong. It's, you know, it will resonate with who it was supposed to resonate, and the variations will, you know, give people options. You know, that's the way that it is. You know, we're here to grow. You know, we're here to grow together. All right. So peace and love, everybody. It's been beautiful. Just know that you are me and I am you, and I will commence to talking with you guys later. All right, love you guys. Talk with you later. Bye.